charging shit to the game we play. I lost them. I think about it all the time. Was it worth what it cost it? Was it worth when you bought it? Did it hurt when you lost it?
What it do, man? It's your boy Marquise Voss, man. We now back. I know it's been a minute since the last time we done tapped in on the Modern Kings pod, but we back. You know, I'm your host, you know, featuring my nephew, Keon.
Look. First off, who's bigger?
Crazy. I'm stronger when it come to, you know, I know how to use my, you know, my strength better when we hoop, playing sports.
I just don't try to hurt you, man.
Hey,
y'all some little guys.
That's crazy.
We gonna how easily I get through. I'm just saying.
We gonna have to get out there, man.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
Coming up after this, y'all, we doing a 1v1. We actually got some footage of me cooking. You know, I'm the best.
No,
probably.
That's facts. Or you playing?
Huh? Oh yeah. We got footage of we got a lot of footage of me and Keon. I done cooked them a lot over the years.
No.
Yeah, so that's real.
First of all, I wasn't even playing for real. I wasn't even gonna go.
Ooh.
Before I even
I was gonna say I'm the best hooper in the room, but that's gonna start a whole nother episode. So we'll come back to that, man. But
no, we ain't gonna come back to that because just leave that in your head.
Yeah, see, like I said, we'll be here all night. Hey, you know, I got my boy Nate over here. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, man? But no, for real though. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, man. How you feeling though, Keon?
I'm feeling good. How about you, man?
Man, feeling pretty good. It's been a minute. Our last episode was Mr. Gage. Shout out Mr. Gage, man. You know what I'm saying? OG. You know what I'm saying? We got the Marshall vibe going, man. You know what I'm saying? Marshall alumni vibe going.
I don't know if he count anymore.
Who, me?
Crazy.
That's facts. That's fact. I can see it. I respect it. I respect it.
No,
he OG though. Yeah, Marshall OG.
I respect it.
If you went to middle school, you OG.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
OG.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this brother right here, man, is been one of my brothers for a long time, all the way back to 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like OG friend and brother. You know what I'm saying? So, and this episode been long overdue. Also, too, man, because this person right here is a significant person to the podcast. Because if anybody, all our fans who've been here since the beginning, the theme song it is of this podcast. You know, we actually got the artist. You know, so this brother is an artist, man. He's a father. Happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? At the time of this recording. You know what I'm saying? So I've been excited for this, man. We making this happen. Also, too, on this episode, we also want to get back to like the conversation style. So this is not gonna be like the standard kind of interview style we've been doing. We want to, you know, bring that brotherhood and that youth energy to it. So we're gonna talk about some good topics on here, man. So we want to give it up for my boy, my brother Dejan, man. Let's give it up for him. You know what I'm saying?
Good
yes,
to
sir.
Be here. Good to be here. Good
yes,
to
sir.
be here.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling coming on the pod?
Man, like we've been saying, long overdue, man. I got the theme song. They want me on season 1 because they went through a whole string. Like, we gonna get you on. But the song been on.
Yeah,
my voice been on.
He threatened to copyright us. So
you know we had to pay $10,000 in compensation. But yeah, man. So but yeah, like you know we've been talking about doing this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it feel good to finally get you on here, man. And especially now, like you said, you might not have been the first, but from the youth aspect, you are first youth guest. You know what I'm saying? Or a peer, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we all in our 20s, man. So we definitely want to tap in. But yeah, Keon, you know, I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump it off with our tradition of what we do before we jump it off with.
Oh yeah, on the scale of 1 to 10, how's your mental health check-in? And why?
I would say 7.5, maybe 7.5, something like that. The why? I'm working on a few things. This year has been a hard year to start. I got hurt to start the year. I dislocated my knee to start the year. That recovery process has been a lot for me. Just trying to navigate manhood and kind of being the leader of the family I'm building. You know, I got a lady, 2 kids, one biologically, one is my stepchild. Just trying to navigate being a good man for them, being a good man for myself. Just a lot of life stuff I've been going through with family. It's been a lot, but I'm trading in the right direction. You know, I just got over my writer's block, back in the studio, new music coming.
Yes, sir. A return coming soon, man.
The facts. I just let him hear it in the car, so he tapped in. We took a ride, but yeah, I'm trading in the right direction. I actually start therapy on Wednesday. trying to get into
therapy for like you talking about like mental therapy or you talking about
just like
physical therapy?
mental. I've been in physical therapy for
Oh, okay,
months,
okay.
but like
Okay.
mental, emotional, just making sure I'm straight. You feel me?
What made you take that step to get a therapist?
Man, I've seen people in spaces where people need serious help. I've been in situations with those people. I've seen people procrastinate on it. I've seen their symptoms get worse. I've seen them say that they are gonna get a therapist and they don't, and the symptoms are still there. Everything's still going in the same direction. I just don't want to be one of them people. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be moving backwards at all. So even with me feeling like I'm already on the right path on my own, I feel like at times I need a sounding board, especially when you're dealing with humans. Because with a lot of stuff, when you're dealing with other humans, people run their mouth. Okay. I keep people pretty much out of my personal business. Okay. But when you're dealing with people, a lot of people run their mouth. A lot of people hear their side of the story. A lot of people I'm a person who love to care for my image and my reputation and how I'm known. So I find myself fighting myself not to defend myself, not to tell my side, not to be out there. But I feel like at a point I do want to speak to someone that's kind of uninvolved and, just let certain stuff out. So who better than a therapist? They uninvolved. I ain't gonna see them in my daily life. They ain't gonna be nothing to where I let somebody into my business and now people think they know more than they should know. Cause that's what a lot of stuff turns into. People only hear one side of the story and they think they know stuff. They know one side. They say it's 3 sides to every story.
Right.
This side, that side, and the truth.
Right. People
hear one side and they kind of get this perception about the whole situation or about you based on what this person said or even about that person based on what that person said. Yeah. And it's hard to fight the impulse of like, nah, you said your stuff, I'm going to say mine.
Yeah. Right.
But I keep people out of my business for a reason.
Right.
So,
man, no, that's a blessing, bro. Yeah, congratulations on getting that started, man. When you supposed to have you had your first session yet?
No, my first session is Wednesday.
Oh, okay. This
Wednesday evening.
Yep, man, congratulations on that, man. You know
Appreciate
what I'm saying? Like, that's a blessing, bro. Yeah, because I know that mental health stuff, it ain't no joke, man. And, like,
facts.
Especially just, like, how we didn't all talked about is, like, just knowing, like, in our, like, we already know in a black culture, like, we sleep on that. Black people don't be messing with no therapists, like you said, for the main reason. We don't want people in our business.
Black men especially, I think it's, I think it's even more important because I think a lot of times where people are leaning on people in their lives and getting people in their business, it be women, which is bad in that sense, but it's what it feels like to them. It's cool that they letting it out to somebody they venting. They call it venting, but in that process, it creates a lot of friction in places where there wouldn't be friction if you didn't let this person into a space where they shouldn't be. Yeah. Because they're not hearing every side of the story. They're not hearing all components. They're hearing your perception and what you went through.
Right.
When it comes to men, I feel like more of us are private than women are.
Yeah.
More of us want to keep people out of our business than women do. So more of us, we find ourselves fighting our emotions and our thoughts and in our interiors.
Right.
So, and I feel like as far as getting therapists, it looks the worst on our end, like societally. And like
as far as like being looking weak,
looking
weak and like, man, you need what you got going on. You need
so
help.
I feel like the effect is worse when it comes to us, and I feel like we might need it the most.
Yeah, and I feel like that's another reason too is like because we suffer in silence the most from what you just said. That's why we need the help. You know what I'm saying? Like Keon, you didn't talk about it all the time, like that. That ego. You know what I'm saying? Like most men, we pride ourselves on, I'm good, like I got it, especially if you a family man, if you a father and all of that, you really feel like you ain't got no excuse
all day, every day, man. It gotta be me.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that responsibility. I just want to be able to do right with it. So
to kind of transition into one of the things we wanted to talk about was so we got a couple of different topics, but with you being a father, you know what I mean? We also want to talk about, it's kind of funny how it just was Father's Day too, but we also want to talk about like the reality of that, because one of the things we want to, our last guest, Mr. Gage, you know what I'm saying, who always been a solid OG, he was a father, but we haven't had nobody on this pod who's a young father too, you know what I'm saying, so we want to just talk to you about that too, just like from your experience, based on how you grew up and how you parented. Like, what's that experience been like for you being a young black man that's a father?
There's two sides of it. There's the side of just being a dad and raising a kid, and then there's a side of having in my situation, have had a kid with somebody you're no longer with, and navigating that.
Yeah.
Being a dad in general, I love it. There's a couple scary things you got to go through, but you're gonna go through scary things as a parent the whole life. I feel like it's gonna get scarier.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna get more serious. So I'm kind of just anticipating that, and trying to be the best person as a guide for that job I can be. And then the other side, having a kid with a woman I'm no longer with, that get tricky. That gets very tricky. But we handle it.
So, are you in a relationship?
Yes.
So, do you think growing up with seeing the things that your parents went through, do you feel like in your relationship you avoid, so, or is it easier for you to open up certain conversations because you've seen those things happen?
Crazy thing is no.
Or how
we didn't.
How did it shape?
Yeah.
How did your parents?
How did seeing your parents' relationship shape you and going into your own relationships?
What's crazy is we didn't see enough of it play out, because they tried to keep everything from us. For one perspective, I get that, but the thing about it is the effects of it, you can't keep that from us. Yeah. When y'all come out of that closed room and stop trying to whisper argue, and we see how y'all interact with each other, and we see what's really going on, we gonna be wondering what is going on. Like, why is this happening? So a lot of the arguments and stuff we didn't hear. Like, certain times they raised their voice, but a lot of the arguments and the disagreements and what they were about, we didn't hear. So when you come out and y'all having these problems, we confused. Like, we wondering what's going on. And I feel like, to me, that's an issue, because you can't keep every piece of it from us. So keeping small components from us, like a whole half of it from us, it's a lot of curiosity that comes to, like, blaming ourselves, like, from as far as me and my siblings, guessing what's going on, and kind of just feeling a way in general that you might probably shouldn't feel about your parents. Like, there was a point in time where, when it came to the issues I had with my dad, or issues me and my siblings had as far as my dad when we were kids, it's a point in time when I blame my mother for it, and I felt that my mother never defended us. It never defended me, and it turns out she did. She tried to, in their private conversations. I don't know that though. Yeah. I'm your kid. The relationship I have with you is being affected by the fact that I don't feel like you lobbying for me. Yeah. You telling me you lobbying for me in private, and you don't, and I don't have to know that, and I do have to know that, because that's creating a sense of security me with my mom. Like, the fact that you care about what I'm experiencing and how I feel, because I didn't feel like that, and it was because you wanted to hide, and that's not my fault. Yeah. What you showed me is, whenever this man say something, is what it is.
You said that was the example you got from moms?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it wasn't no right or wrong. It was just more so whatever he said.
Yeah, and it's like, I get, because even now, being a man in a relationship and that's trying to lead his family, I get letting a man lead as a woman. Yeah. Now, because I see how much I want it now. Right. But I feel like there's also a space where you can express, like, well, even if it ends up being what my dad says. Yeah. Even if that's the result every time. Yeah. Me seeing you defend me would have made me feel cool. Yeah. Even if every time, 100% of the time, my dad's answer is what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any lobbying for you as far as what I felt.
Yeah, like that consideration.
That mattered to me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Man. And do you, so you feel like pretty much kind of going through them experiences, seeing that, you feel like you feel like you had pretty much an unhealthy example from your parents? Yeah. Of what a household looks like?
Yeah.
Do you think that affected your dating life?
Absolutely. It's impossible to me for it not to when it comes to your
Yeah.
parents. I feel like everybody would, no matter what position you in, single parent, two parent,
Yeah.
you see your parents' partners, you see who they bring to the crib, you see
Yeah.
how many people they bring to the crib, and it's over a certain period of time. That's gonna affect you,
Right.
and it's going in a way shape you, whether it drives you away from that or it makes you do those things.
Right. Yeah. Cause
Yeah. So
I feel
definitely.
like and I can relate with that too, man. Cause I feel like I said, I feel like from the topic of what we talking about, like, do we feel like, or like one, how did our parents shape our relationships? I would say for me, I kind of took it in like the more of a positive way of like seeing my parents always be together from birth. You know what I'm saying, until now. You know what I'm saying. For me, that made me prioritize like properly or getting into a relationship at the right time.
Yeah.
I never was one of them dudes that be like, oh man, I'm finna just get out here and go crazy. Like I was always like, when I'm dealing with a woman, that's who I'm dealing with for this time, and I'm staying here until it's
I think that's what made me that type of person too. Because
Yeah.
though over half of their relationship that I seen wasn't really good as far as what was going on and also how it affected us.
Yeah.
I definitely was never the person to juggle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ever.
they seeing my parents made me value relationships more.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I didn't have my phases of when I was going crazy, but I always let them know this what it is and this what it ain't. But when I am in a relationship, I'm not cheating. I value this relationship. I'm in a relationship right now. I value this relationship. I'm going about it a certain different way. Like the way I am in a relationship, you would never would have known that's how I was when I was single.
Yeah.
So-
Because you know your your maturity, you know how to kick it in.
Yeah, and again, like
You know
that's why
what's
it
right
takes
from
me.
wrong.
That's why it takes me so long because I ain't dealt with multiple people, but only been in 3 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why. And I will stay in this relationship. You know, I'll try to work things out. And it's on my eyes because you know if I was willing to get in a relationship with you, now I'm willing to work certain things out. I'm willing to do certain things.
Yeah, because like versus like you said, somebody that's temporary, you feel like it ain't.
Yeah.
And I would say for me, I feel like when it came to like my now one thing I will say that I also learned from like kind of one of the things I learned. Now, if we just talk about the topic of like the father figure, like you were saying, I would say one of the things, my biggest thing I learned not to do from my dad is it taught me how to be a better communicator. Seeing him not being a great communicator, like you said, in a way, like that was the biggest thing that I prioritize whenever I'm in a relationship or or dating a woman. You know what I'm saying, that I really care about is like actually communicating and prioritizing like my emotional intelligence, because like we talked about, as men, it's not popular for us to be able to articulate how we feeling and stuff like that, which is why when a lot of men get in relationships, they have a lot of these struggles because they don't know how to articulate their feelings, and they get a lot of friction with their woman because they just so used to, oh man, like we said, men get so used to just like, oh, I'm here, like I'm here, I'm showing up.
So
But it's like you got to actually be there and be in tune. So that was probably the biggest thing that I learned as a man, is like we gotta be in tune with our emotional side, because that's just as important as the masculine side. Because I feel like that's natural. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not hard for us to do that, but I think that's one of them newer age things that we gotta train ourselves as men, is to tap into that emotional, especially when, like you said, as a father, when you got a daughter, you really got to be in tune with that emotional side, because when it's time for her to grow up and actually see the example of what a man look like, it's best for her to see a man who got the balance. So
and then,
no perspective on that too, from the relationship side.
Looking at the history of our people specifically. And what we've taught men to be, I definitely that's where I give my father a little grace as far as what I felt like could have been done better. My disdain for that approach, as far as him, only comes from when I brought it up, and it was like there was no remorse or regret or feeling like I could have did that better. That's not what I got back.
Self accountability.
Yeah, but looking back at where we started as a people and what we still are kind of getting taught. Yeah, I definitely understand that, because I still go through it to this day. Like I can't look a certain way to a woman. I can't look a certain way to my daughters, to my girl. Like we still deal with that. So I get that part of it.
Yeah, and then let me ask you too, Keon. What would you say, from based on your relationship with your father? What's your biggest thing you learned not to do, which made you a better man in your relationship?
To make time. That's just the only thing, you know. To this day, you know, that's kind of their one friction. He's been doing it more. I don't know, it's just been
making
easy.
time for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not
Quality
even
time.
Well, yeah, each other and everybody.
Yeah, that's a good one.
See, I'm great with that. I'm great with
Me
that.
too.
bro,
Like
yeah,
I'm great with that too.
She come to the podcast.
Yeah.
yeah. Whatever
Yeah,
we
I just
do.
told you the other day we was in the park painting and stuff. That's because
Yeah.
that's something we've been kind of dealing with.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh yeah, that quality time, like
Yeah,
prioritizing
yeah,
it. Yeah, that's
yeah.
super important. Man.
Yeah, because when the thing about us, my bad
No,
to
you good.
cut in the middle of the story. When we first started,
Started dating.
yeah, our kids was never around.
Yeah.
So when it was us, it was just us. So we spent a lot of quality time, even if we didn't get a lot of time together. All of our time is pretty much quality time.
Yeah.
So when it comes to us now living together, and I got my daughter 50% of the time, her daughter's with us most of the time. We kind of got to separate that because time being in the house doing what we do in the house and our duties and how we cater to the kids,
Yeah.
that's not quality time.
Yeah.
That's time we spend in the house we live in now. Sleeping together isn't quality time. This
Yeah,
both
yeah.
of our bed, this both of our bed. We coming here. This ain't quality time.
This is
like,
home.
Yeah. So it's that's kind of what I've been trying to stress as far as prioritizing our time together, because it ain't like when we first started. It ain't like when both kids was with the other parents or both kids with babysitters when we first started dating, because we hadn't met each other's kids yet.
Yeah.
It's now we live a life together. This is our everyday situation. So our quality time has to look a little different. And me being in this house doing what I do with the kids, you being in the house doing what you do with the kids, whatever we doing, that's not necessarily quality time with each other. We still got to keep this foundation solid, because whole time, like this whole family and how this came together was based on us too.
That's good.
So yeah,
So yeah. Again, quality time, because it's just like maybe things have gotten easier since me and my brother's grown. But it's been times, you know, we all used to go out of town every summer. This and that. Has been like a stretch of like 4 years since I've seen my mom's side of the family and stuff. So we ain't really start redoing it till, you know, I had to make that drive and stuff. So again, this quality time, building towards something. Well, not saying my parents wasn't building towards nothing. Of course, they built something. But yeah, just quality time. That's the one thing I learned to prioritize, and within my relationship that I see that was the biggest friction within theirs. It's just the quality time thing. So to switch it over to a different topic, do you feel like the gender roles within the relationship matters?
yeah.
And how do it affect your relationship?
We pretty good on it. I don't even want to be that person. A lot of the issues when it comes to gender roles come with women.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of women, especially in our generation, want the benefit of it, but not to do what benefits me.
Yeah.
So
it's funny too, cause like me and my girl, we kind of got friction there.
Started. He said, man, it's funny you say
I
that.
ain't had to touch the forehead. A lot of our friction, not even a lot of our friction, because you know she does most of the things, but
does the most of the thing. You got to clarify that. Does most of the things
as far as like general. So
make
like
it sound like she do everything.
not to say cooking is a part of the general, but it is cooking and laundry and stuff. Like it is.
Yeah.
So of course I understand if you want me to cook every once in a while. I'll try to best my ability. I ain't
he said I'll put some in the microwave. You know,
Man,
chicken
I'll
nuggets.
heat something up
and,
real quick.
Cupcakes.
But yeah, as far as cooking, you know, she was talking about how she feel like why she always gotta cook every single time. I'm like, cause it's wild too. It's like, bro, this is long. Like, man, every single time something happens to your car, who you call?
Facts.
and that's the thing. They're not understanding that this is meant to be even exchanges, to where it's a system.
It's not like
these are moving components that all work together to get the job done regardless.
I ain't had to put a spare in her car a couple times, man.
Yeah.
Ain't like, man, why I gotta put your spare in your car every single time?
I gotta get on my knees to do that on the concrete,
the oil change and stuff, and gas it up and stuff.
And that sound like a parent. He said, "Man, I do this every time, man." He said, "Man, I gotta tell you, man."
And it'd be funny too, cause I'd be so mad. It'd be certain things I ain't gonna get into that.
He be like, and then she be speeding.
The way she dropped, yes,
because
I know it's gonna be my problem in the end.
Facts.
But
you gonna want me to fix it.
Men don't talk about our gender roles because men don't talk about our gender roles. Like if someone disrespect her, I ain't finna say, man, why I gotta punch the dude every time?
The only thing you might get pushed from when it comes to men now is money. That's the only part you might get some pushback from. But even with me, like in my house, I pay all the bills. She pay her car note. That's it. And the only reason she pays her car note because she bought a car I told her not to buy. And I told her not to buy that car, and I hate it so much. And getting it fixed is irritating. I pay for every ounce of fixing that does every ounce of gas that go in there. I pay for it, so she can pay a note. But she paying way too much for it. But my goal is every day I'm chasing a way to get her to where she doesn't have to work. Because like the way the gender roles go in a traditional relationship, I'm cool with it all. Yeah. I feel like that's a great system to have. I feel like most of the traditional system is catered towards each gender's strengths. Yeah. It's not a thing to where women can't do different things. It's not a thing to where men can't do other things. It's the thing to where each gender is best at these things. Like, and sorry to say, that's just what it is. And people that do the other ones, that's their preference. Right. But as a man, certain other systems, I wouldn't even do. Like, I'm not finna go 50-50 with no woman. I'm sorry, I just can't. Call it pride, call it whatever you want.
You know, that's
I'm not doing
part of the questions too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is the 50-50.
Yeah. I've never done it. Even when I wasn't paying all the bills when I was with my baby mama, it was the majority was me. And even now, like my lady work part time. Like my goal is to get to a place where she doesn't have to work at all.
Oh, so you actually
keep her there.
So you actually desire that traditional right from the financial side.
Facts.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, as far as the space that we in now, as general, that's the only time you really get pushed. I don't see men complaining about taking out the garbage. I don't see men complaining about fixing stuff. I don't see men complaining about holding doors. I don't see a lot of those types of complaints. The only thing that I might see a complaint on is money, and I even get the complaint, right? Because money worked different than it worked back in the day. Money now works different. Money now is worth less. Everything costs more. And it's harder. I feel like it's harder to do than it was, and I get that. Right. But I still want it to be that.
Right. What about you, Keon? What would you say? Because I know that's something that you've been in. How long? Wait. So I want to do this too, just for clarity, for people, just to get context. How long have you been in your relationship? Your current relationship?
Going on a year officially in a relationship. Okay. Dealing with her almost 2.
And that's another thing too I want to get into, before going, just going off topic a little bit, is, a lot of people make it seem like it's uncool to get into a relationship. And when they get into a relationship, they want to cheat and do this.
Bro, that's just error,
that's just immaturity and being a follower. People only cheat to be a follower.
Was we talking about the cheating thing is corny? Was me?
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, that's just
probably
like
the most corniest thing
again,
that you can do as a man is cheat.
Again, I ain't saying that you don't have to deal with multiple women. If you want to do that, be single.
It's pretty simple.
Why commit to someone and be in a relationship and then do all this cheating? I don't know. Somebody got really explained to me that. Maybe it's just maybe I don't understand it because I never cheated.
You gotta understand.
Man, I feel
bro,
good being around all these brothers in relationships, man.
Like,
this is a
when
good
we were just talking
man.
about that Chris Brown stuff. His girl is really arguing that he should be sitting in front of a camera with his parts on some girl cheeks. That's in a relationship, and they're arguing for it.
Wait, they saying he should be doing.
You ain't been seeing that? Oh, you ain't been on Facebook. You said you ain't been on Facebook. There's a thing going around. Chris Brown at his concerts. They're paying $1,011. $1,111
for the pictures to take.
Yeah, to take their pictures, and he's picking these girls up, cuffing cheeks.
Oh yeah,
turning around.
I saw that. I heard about that.
And these people in relationships, and they're literally going,
Oh yeah, you saying that that's not okay? You pretty
no,
much,
and they're sharing it like y'all be so insecure. These dudes so tender and da da da. I'm like, are you slow?
That's what you think,
bro.
Trey.
If that if and they make it this thing with a celebrity.
even with the whole Usher stuff, they said Swiss B shouldn't be mad. She's doing her job.
They make it a thing because because these are celebrities. These people are still human, bro. These people not superheroes.
Yeah.
You can still touch them. They still smash regular girls. They still smash regular girls. Don't get it twisted. It's legends about R&B singers. They go to concerts, have they men pick out people from the crowd to bring to the hotels. They smash normal girls. It ain't like he'll never date me. He'll never touch me. No, they're getting cracked every day. They're getting bammed every day, and they just got the access to where y'all drop them immediately. If you can do it with a celebrity, I should be able to do it with a regular girl.
All right.
Can I go? Can I go to what's y'all spots? I don't go out. Can I go to Element? Take a girl with her cheeks out. Say, can I take a picture with you? And pick her up by her cheeks and take the picture of her, and you be good. No, you're out of your mind. Yeah, it's just a picture.
And then if the roles is reversed, say Megan Thee Stallion, you pay $1,000 and take a picture of Megan Thee Stallion,
and she let me pick her up and
let me pick her and do all that.
She's a celebrity. She's not really gonna smash. How stupid would I sound?
Yeah, that's
so. But that's just the thing. Like that's the biggest problem within our
or era. To the cheating.
Our error is that people cheating. Like it's not like they cheating for this. Like people cheat for other dudes, which is kind of corny and lame to me. Man. Like they cheat on their girl and go right to their homie. Yeah, guess who I smashed? Guess who I do?
Because you talking about some of your young guys be on that type of time
like,
too. Yeah, that's what we was talking
about. I'm
like,
why be in a relationship if you just gonna do that?
Yeah.
So
they be in contests, all type of stuff.
Again, it's cool if you single. Again, I ain't done it when I was single.
Yeah, you can go did all that. You can do your thing when you single. Yeah,
it's like I would rather do it while I'm single because then I ain't gotta do all that hiding. I ain't gotta do all that sneaking out or hiding my phone, changing the passwords, all this.
I ain't never cared too much about too many males' opinions, bro.
Yes,
they be worried about them dudes' opinions. Bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty suspect.
I don't participate in those types of activities. Those ideologies do not work inside my brain.
Man. But no, I feel like cheating is probably the most corny thing that you can do as a man in a relationship because it's like, and once again too, just kind of to the topic of we talking about, that's not operating as a real man because you defeating the whole purpose of what it is to be in a relationship. Like if you were in a relationship, that's for us to make each other better, you know what I'm saying, and actually make progress. So if you in a relationship and you cheating on this woman, in which that's a whole nother topic with itself, but that now you're actually spoiling her mind on what she'll tolerate, you know what I mean? Because that's when they kick into the idea of like as men we supposed to set the tone. So it's like we set the tone before and in the relationships too.
And you know it's so crazy. People talk about how women's delusional and this and that. Men is starting to get delusional too because they try to make it okay for why they cheating. One of the dumbest things I heard was, "That's not your girl. It's just your turn."
Oh yeah.
So them saying that, them really believing that, make them feel like it's okay for them to cheat and do all this
feel because like it's temporary.
Yeah, me and my girl, we ain't really together. We're just temporary.
That's deep.
It's just my turn.
It's a whole other side to that too, though. Because of what we talking about, it be some spaces where that might be facts.
It might be facts, but again,
you only got a guaranteed
I done seen some stuff, boy.
Me too.
It get different out here, especially when you trying to be loyal. It get different out here, boy.
That's why I say you got value your relationships more. Again, I only been in 3 relationships and deal with multiple women. Yeah. It's like you can't just pick everybody, and that's what it be like. Dudes don't put in the time and stuff, and they'll just pick somebody random, end up getting hurt. Same thing with the women. So just because it looks good for now. So
and then I will also say too, like and with the cheating part before we move on, why do you feel like cheating is so popular from both of y'all? Why do y'all just feel like starting with you why you think it's so popular in today's generation?
I think a lot of things that were once considered immoral in the past are becoming popular. We got rid of shame. Everybody don't want to be judged. And oh Lord, I hate that so much. Here's the thing about judgment. For me, in my opinion, everything is based on judgment. Everything's judged. Whether you succeed, whether you fail, whether you liked, whether you're not liked, it's just a difference between positive judgment and negative judgment. Everything's judged. When you positively judged, nobody has a problem. But when that negative judgment come out, you're so judgmental. Who are you to judge? It's only God's place to judge. Everybody become Bibleologists now. Like, you not nobody to judge me, blah, blah, blah. But if I tell you look good in that, if I tell you should be doing that, you like that judgment. You like that judgment.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why a lot of stuff, including cheating and being promiscuous and not having discipline and not abiding by your commitments is getting cool. Yeah. Because there are people actually feeding into getting rid of the spaces where you call people out on they BS. Yeah. So when it comes to cheating, I feel like everybody's getting in a space where everybody hurt. One. Everybody hurt. We've been talking about it. Nobody want to get therapy. Yeah. Nobody want to take accountability for the problems they have. Nobody wants to admit that they need help. Nobody wants to admit that there are things that need to change. This is one of the biggest errors where I've seen so many people like, I'm not changing for nobody. And this is stuff we normalizing, and people making this a positive thing. Yeah,
the stubborn mentality.
Like being selfish is somehow now a positive quality. In every sense. Yeah, I get parts of it. Yeah, but a lot of times, like in most times, selfishness, that's a character flaw. Only caring about what's going on with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not changing anything for anybody. I'm not gonna. Growth is change. Growth is difference. Things have to become different for you to grow. Right. People not changing stuff. It gotta take me how I am and blah 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 blah. Yeah. And you gotta love me unconditionally. And it's, bro, I do agree that love is unconditional. The emotion. Mm-hmm. Love is two things to me. Mm-hmm. There's a noun and there's a verb. One is a choice. One isn't. The noun, the emotion. When you start to love somebody, you can't choose. Even if you say, I don't love you no more. That's all depends on what's in here.
Yeah, you still got that feeling.
Making the choice to say, I'm going to love you. I'm going to show that I love you. That's a choice. So when it comes to unconditional love, I think love is unconditional in the emotional sense. But when I can love you emotionally and not have no choice whether I love you or not, and still say I'm not finna deal with you. And it's not me not having unconditional love. This contract has conditions. To me, that's what a relationship is. It's a contract. This is an agreement you've made with each other to cooperate with each other and work to be a good unit. Yeah. This definitely has conditions. Yeah. You think you can do whatever? Mm-hmm. And you're gonna slight me when you're not able to do whatever. You're gonna slight me and say you don't love me unconditionally. You only love me when I'm doing this. You only love me when I'm doing that. No. I only want to be in a relationship with you when you're doing that. Because if we break up today, most likely I still love you. Yeah. Emotionally. Yeah. I only want to be around you. You can only stand next to me when you're not doing that. Right. But everything weird is just being normalized. Yeah. When it comes to cheating, everything immoral is being praised.
Right. Yeah. What about you, Keon? What you think?
Lack of good examples, discipline, and people are being followers. Again, I don't know why, especially within men. Men care so much about what other men think. Man. And that's a feminine trait. Usually females do all that. Like, they all go to the bathroom together. They all talk within this. They all tell each other that. Man, that's a feminine trait that you doing this and this and this. Like,
to please somebody else.
Yeah, y'all literally celebrating what you doing to this girl. Like, bro, I just cheated on my girl again, boy. Guess what I just did?
Yeah, I just got her number. And then the weakest part about cheating is the lack of accountability from your guys in your circle. It's kind of like what we talked about, just like with the bullying thing or whatever. It's like, that's probably the worst thing that you can do is if you see your brother or your man cheating on, knowing he's in a relationship, especially if, it's bad either way it go, but on most of these times, dudes be knowing that they with a good girl and they still be like, man, like, they just act like they scared to.
That's definitely a part of the problem.
Which is actually the weakest thing too. That make you look weak if you see your guy or your brother because you're not holding them accountable because that's a reflection of your mentality too. Like
Yeah.
You know,
your
so-
morals and all of that different stuff.
You know, what's so crazy. There's so many relationships where both of them like is doing
Cheating.
that.
Yeah.
We know somebody who was doing the back and forth. It's a competition now too.
So,
That's
and-
another
Yeah,
thing.
And that's
bro.
why I say it's like
That's what I'm saying.
a lack of discipline of you trying to put in the work. Like again, I know somebody who's in a poly relationship. So if you do want to go that route,
Do it.
yeah, you could find
People in open
yeah,
relationships,
talk to
just
them.
do it.
Yeah, do it and find that person who be willing to do
Yeah.
all that, put in the work, do it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that.
He said, "Do that,
do that, do that, do that. But yeah, so
Dog, this man can't.
Yeah.
and the person who I know in the poly relationship, he says is so much easier.
For some certain people, it
Yeah, he
is
says
like
it's easier. He said it makes sense.
for certain people that
And
don't
that's the
mind
thing,
that girl
too, is
getting
like-
dipped in.
And there's one thing I want to say too is like when it comes to like how you view it, it's like that's another thing which messes up people's mentality on a relationship because they going off of what other people think or what's the
Yeah.
version of it or what's
Yeah.
popular. Like, oh man, even though I'm with her, it actually looked good for me to have another one.
Yeah.
But that means you already in it for the wrong relationship. I mean, you're in your relationship for the wrong reasons. Because if you don't believe that, you shouldn't be trying to do it this way that other people do it.
And
So
it's crazy too, cause like me personally, I don't believe in the poly relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but I respect that more than someone who cheats.
Yeah, just
Yeah, just
I
decide,
respect
yeah.
anybody abiding by an agreement they have
Yeah.
over lying, deceiving, and cheating, because those are bad character traits. That's what I think this comes down to. Everything's falling apart from a moral standpoint. Like you was just talking about, and we can't police our people.
yeah.
We police our people, it's perceived as hate. You're lame. You want to have a problem. You're not my friend. Like,
yeah.
no, bro. I want you to be right. I
Right.
want you to
Yeah.
be genuine. That like
Yeah.
lying isn't genuine. It's not a genuine thing to do.
Your
Cheating
loyalty
isn't
is
genuine.
towards, your loyalty is towards me, not her.
Yeah, so if there's an agreement you can have to where you have multiple sexual partners, multiple relationship partners, whether it's open relationship, whether it's a poly, and you're within the lines of something you committed to
Yeah.
as a man or just a woman, or
Yeah.
I'm speaking as a man because I'm a man and I take my word seriously and what I commit to.
Yeah.
So as a man, if there is something that I agree to, I'm going to abide by it.
Yeah.
And if that needs to be a poly or open relationship just to say I did what I said I was going to do,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Why as a man who wants to be honorable, who strives every day to be more of an honorable, respectable man, would I get in a monogamous relationship with somebody planning to breach my contract, bro?
Intentionally.
Knowing I'm going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Knowing that's the type of person I am.
Yeah.
Why would I do it?
And that's another thing
And
too.
there, in this age, it is way more open and way more acceptable for you to do the other thing. This ain't 20 years ago,
Yeah.
where you probably find one poly every 1,000 relationships.
yeah.
This is different now.
People
You
going
can,
crazy
they got
now.
poly Facebook groups.
Yeah.
You can go on Facebook and search people that want to be in poly relationships.
Yeah,
They have
got
their
A
own
bunch
dating-
of prospects gonna
Yeah,
come
they
up.
got applications.
You can live
They
this
have
life
them
if
all
you want
now.
to
They have
and
their
be
own-
within your contract.
You can
They have
sign
their
up
own dating
online.
apps. Like
Yeah, yep. And they literally put it in. They
Yeah,
be
what
like,
are you
man,
looking for?
looking for a third. Like,
Yeah, we looking for a
You can do it and be
gotta be
honorable.
higher than 5.
Yeah.
You can do it and be honorable, be respectable, be honest, be genuine, be moving without nothing to go on your conscience or nothing to go on your this to me, life like a record. Like this, you got a record of stuff you can or cannot say about me.
But my final thing that I was saying, like kind of just closing out my last topic, was like when it come to being me speaking from a single perspective, I believe it is super important to get yourself in alignment, before you get into a relationship, because that's how you probably be able to serve your relationship once you actually in it. But the question I wanted to talk to both of y'all about and get y'all perspectives on is with everybody, being in long-term relationships, is like, what are your views on marriage, and is it important? Based on what you think, like from your personal beliefs.
To me, marriage is important.
Were your parents married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, was that always a desire for you even before you got into relationships and all of that?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
always a thing I wanted for myself. As I got older, I've seen a lot of divorce in my life. So as I got older, I got a little more apprehensive
Oh, okay.
about the idea. Just kind of wanted to make sure I extra prepare myself because the divorces be rough. I done seen them. My parents just went through theirs. Like I've seen them. But as far as just marriage, it's still a dream of mine. It's still something I foresee for my life. I feel like that's still the ultimate level for a relationship. Even though we getting into a space now where a lot of people just feel okay being boyfriend and girlfriend forever.
Right.
And a lot of it is the legal stuff. To me, I feel like that's just a bigger testament of the investment you got into your love. Like, legalizing it and how hard it is to get out of marriage. Like, making that move is just, to me, the ultimate show of I'm banking on this.
Yeah, commitment. Yeah.
And then you hear a lot when it comes to the gender roles. In most cases, the man is gonna lead the financial. So when it comes to men in divorce, a lot of men talk about losing a lot in divorce, having to pay the alimony when you come out of it, having to pay the child support when you come out of it. That makes me apprehensive on the fact that I got to make sure I make the right decision about who it is, when it is, and how we going into it. Because that's frightening. That to have to go through, to even say like, if this goes left, I'm still have to pay this person for the rest of my life. Pay for the child.
That's pretty crazy.
Because when you in the thing about the traditional space, that makes that a risk is this person's lived off you for however long you've been married. Yeah, and they ideally put the work that you put into this relationship too. They put the same amount of work in. So thinking that that's just supposed to go away because you're not together, I get that part of it. Yeah, and like you've been married, somebody get divorced after 25 years. What you going to? How you been taking care of this woman this long financially? Right. How you just going? She put a little college, right? so I get it. Yeah, it just makes me more diligent about making sure my process is right and doing it. But I definitely still want to do it.
Right. What about you, Keon? You believe in it and you believe it's important?
It's very important. That's why I only been in 3 relationships. So all the relationships I've been in, there was a point in time where I felt like I could have married them women. Not saying I was just gonna marry them right away. Of course, that's why I say people are not disciplined or willing to do the work. Again, I'll rather be in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, for about 10 years before proposing. But proposing is what I'm working towards. Yeah. So every relationship,
gonna be a beautiful moment, Keon, to see you get there, man.
Every relationship,
it's gonna be a good one.
Every relationship I've been in,
gonna put the ring in a McDonald's bag with 3 large high seas.
This is sponsored by McDonald's.
Definitely was munching on that.
But yeah, this is like every relationship I've ever been in. That's why I was working towards. That's why I have so many different conversations. This is why I move a certain way. Yeah. And they know that before getting into a relationship with me. Yeah. So it's not like I'm just in a relationship with you just to say this is what we're gonna be forever. Yeah. I get in a relationship with the person to work towards marriage. Yeah. Again, with the legal point of view of it, I don't mind certain things. Because again, if I'm marrying you, that means you're my business partner. You're my other half. You should be able to make certain decisions with me not being there because you're an extension of me. You should be able to make the same decisions that I would make if I was there, or see the betterment of what we're building, our kingdom.
Like I said, it's a contract, bro. Yeah. Even when you're not married, this is a contract.
Yeah. So that's why
there's terms.
Yeah. That's why everybody be saying like, oh, if I divorce her, the money. Do the work.
I was like, you took the risk to start.
Do the work. Like maybe you should have waited another year before getting married. Or
I feel like that's the biggest. That's probably the biggest thing I don't like when I be hearing people like, man, they say, man, if I get divorced, if you saying that, you're already going into it with the wrong mentality. You already didn't psych yourself out of it. If that's what you really believe, you're going to have more faith in the positive of it versus, but a lot of people say that because they're going off of what everybody else say now.
And then I ain't heard guys saying men don't gain nothing from marriage or whatever. First of all, if I was willing to get on one leg, one knee.
He said when I dislocated.
Yeah, doing this, boy. If I decide to get on this, that means I'm willing to put everything into you. So I'm willing to take that risk. Yeah. Because this knee done been through a lot. So if I might have to sit down and do it. Ooh, no diddy. He
said no diddy. He said his knee has been through a lot. Can't get calling him on.
Bro, what? I know who I am. I ain't
Yeah.
gotta say no.
But
Diddy.
no, I feel like
You be hearing
Yeah.
them phrases all the time.
All the
Like,
time.
man don't get no benefits from getting married. And like,
Man,
like
I
I said,
think-
when
yeah.
it comes to a traditional space, I get the it's the financial thing. That's really what you're talking about. That's,
So let me-
really all you're talking about.
So let me ask y'all this, and what do you believe is the biggest benefit? You know, aside from the materialistic surface level stuff, what do you believe the biggest benefit of getting married is for the man? Because we like we said, we acknowledged all of the negatives of what they say can
Yeah.
happen. What do you believe the biggest benefit is?
Bro, it's just the wife, bro. Women are great.
Mm.
No matter what complaints we got, no matter what era we going through right now with this bull we dealing with the women. I don't want no dude.
He said I ain't trying to be Diddy.
I
Get up. Get up. He said get up.
women are great, bro. Having a wife, having the partner, having the person to build your whole system, empire, your life,
multiply.
having somebody to be on the side of you that's always your number one person, the closest person to you, trying to have your back, make sure you on the right path, support you,
Right.
love you, bro. These are people ideally that know things that nobody else know about us.
Yeah. That safe space.
Make us feel ways nobody else can make us feel.
Yeah.
That's irreplaceable, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's something you can't take for granted. That's not nothing that I look at and say, but if we gonna have to break, I'm gonna have to pay her. Like, bro, this is my this is my everything
Yeah, your
forever.
life
for
partner.
real. Like,
yeah.
I'll take the risk.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. I agree, man. I feel like that's really the greatest reward, man. Because especially just from coming from a spiritual background, like that's what the Bible say. When a man find a wife, he find a good thing. But it's like
man.
because we was made for that. We was made to be in partnership with a woman, like And I feel like
And when these kids come,
yeah,
they pulling weight, bro.
yeah.
They're pulling weight. Like
the pregnancy thing itself is a
yeah.
genius.
We take care
encounter.
of what we take care of for them for a reason. Like the reason I want my girl not to have to work is for a reason. She puts in work in other spaces, like work that I don't necessarily want to do.
Right.
Like
Keon said, I can cook.
I
I don't want to.
Boy, you gonna have pizza rolls?
No, chicken strips.
I could cook up some pizza rolls, boy. I tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like y'all was saying, they're an extension of you. Like Adam gave up his rib to make Eve. So this is like a mini me. This is a reflection of me. So she's able to make the same decisions that I would. Again, raising the children. She's probably making them raising them the way that you would, or saying certain things or disciplining them certain ways that you would say, yeah.
If you're doing it, if you choose properly.
Yeah, if you choose properly.
And ideally in that traditional space, they're a lot more hands on with the kids because we put in their work to make sure everything good on the physical side of we got what we need.
Yeah, hands on with you. I ain't gonna lie. I don't make my own doctor's appointment.
Man, yeah. And that's another thing too. Is like the biggest benefit. I feel like that's a good point that you brought that up. Is like I believe one of the best benefits of having being married and having that woman is because now you got a life partner to support you in your areas that you weak. Because that's what we supposed to do. It's because that's the biggest thing that's probably the biggest myth I learned years ago that was fake. Is like, man, we supposed to be 50-50, but really you're supposed to be 100-100. Everything that I have and everything that you have, we supposed to bring those two things together, which will make a successful marriage. So I feel like a lot of people, we don't prepare ourselves for that same mentality when it comes to relationships. You like, man, half of what I got, half of what you got. So then you wonder why it don't work out once you done got in marriage because you didn't prepare yourself with the right foundation. So them the type of things that I look forward to when it come to being married. When I get to that level, it's like, man, all of what I got, because I'm confident in who I am and I know I'm a great person. So I'm looking for that same kind of energy. You know what I mean? And like we said, man, just having a woman, man, it's just stuff that you can't even explain it. Like they just have natural powers that we just don't have. Like just like they say, because a lot of people be like, man, who come first, your mom or or your wife. You know what I mean? But it's a reason why they say your wife comes first is because your mama can't do stuff that your wife can do for you. You know, just all
She
around the
won't.
board.
And then it's like
It
one of
won't
the
be
most exciting things is like you get that business partner. Again, you get that other extension of you. You're one of my closest friends. Say there's a party that I can't do or anything, my wife will be able to get that party more in my image than one of my closest friends or my mom. And with like
your closest person to you,
yeah,
all your
like you may
deepest
be able to do
dreams
certain
and
things.
desires.
Mom be able to do certain things, but she's gonna do exactly almost every single thing
she's
to a
living
T.
with you.
Yeah, like she knows you, like
a
to
living reflection.
Yeah, like you could like order me a burger. You could know I like burgers. She know I don't like pickles. Like like no Diddy. Like she know I don't like pickles on the burger. Like it's just the smallest
No Diddy
thing
on the
that.
no pickles is crazy. No Diddy on the no pickles, cause pickles don't even come in that form on burgers, cause you ain't even need the no Diddy. Cause that's crazy.
I get what you was trying to do.
We in a different era. I'm just
you do
making
gotta
sure,
be extra
boy.
careful nowadays. He
Bro,
said,
pickles is
I like
sliced,
pickles.
bro.
Yeah. But I had to use a real example. I hate pickles. But
Man.
but yeah, just something as
You
small as
want
that.
pickles on them burgers? No, I'm just playing.
But just something as small as that. Like if you got me a burger and had pickles, I'm gonna be hot. I ain't gonna lie, I'm be so fucking mad. But she's gonna do it without the
Yeah, man. But yeah, like
So
man, having a wife is a beautiful thing, and that's another thing too that I think that's not as popular. That's another reason why I appreciate this conversation and y'all even having this, all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe this is another one of these good examples that young men need to see is, or all men need to see is the actual young men still having faith in that. You know, having faith in that destination. And the reality of that is because like we know we living in a generation when it ain't popular no more. You know, and a lot of people done got away from, you know, the powers in it, you know, and it's so much. Here's another thing I'll say too before we move on. One of the biggest things I realized, one of the biggest benefits of marriage and being married to one woman is protection from all of the temptation of having multiple women or too many women. You know, because that's the reason why a lot of men be you know, so promiscuous when they single, and you saw all over the place. You having all these risky situationships. Your life is out of order. You not in order is because your distractions is all over the place. You know,
A part of that too is what you said, bro. If you don't build yourself into that, temptation don't become a problem for me. I don't have that issue.
Yeah,
because I never built that part of me that is so weak.
Yeah, you never
to
you didn't
succumb
feed
to
that
every
part. Yeah,
temptation.
yeah.
Like I was never that person, even when I was single, bro. I could have damned plenty of you nasty whores. That wasn't me, bro. It was never me. When I got my confidence and I found myself and I got to a space, bro. Yeah, I could have been that.
Yeah.
That was never nothing I pursued. So when it comes to me being in a relationship, bro, I don't experience temptation.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I can get a piece of that. You know, like
and then coming from another angle, I gotta choose my words wisely.
I'm in a relationship.
As far as temptation, like I'm disciplined.
That's a form of it, though.
Yeah,
the way you build yourself up before that, you build your
like,
discipline and all of that
I'm
before
very
you even get there.
Yeah, it's like I'm disciplined in so many other areas of my life. Why would I not be disciplined within my relationship?
Facts.
Like, there's women out here. Gotta choose my words wisely. That looks good, you know, or something like. Wow. They trying to help me
That
out.
probably wasn't it either. That probably wasn't it
Yeah,
either. There's women out here that might be appealing to the eye of someone single.
I like that. So
Add that to the reel.
Cut, rewind.
Yeah.
So there's women out here that may look appealing to other people that's single, but once you build up that discipline, really a man about your words, who you are and your character, it's easier to not fall into those traps. And that's just me, like, because I say who I am, because I say I'm faithful, because I choose to do certain things, I live by a certain way. I'm not just going to say, I'm faithful in the mornings. Like,
In the mornings.
yeah, I'm disciplined sometimes. Like,
It is
something you live, bro.
It is a full effort. And another thing I was finna say is that, like, you also have to, one of the things that will help eliminate those temptations once you've committed to one woman is that you have to be fully confident in the decision you made and who
Facts.
you chose.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these men, I talked about this is the worst thing you can do too. I've even talked about this, talked to women about this in my own dating experiences, that a lot of these men get into relationships because the woman want it, because they don't want to hurt her feelings or they don't want to be bogus. But, so that's another thing too, is men, while we're single and while we're, pursuing a woman and while we seeking a woman, we got to be sure that this is who we want both now and forever.
Yeah,
Cause that's what it's, you got to be able to see
what it's
yourself with
about,
her
bro.
long term.
Yeah. And men really don't realize how they make themselves look cheating. Like, you cheating on your girl make you look like, oh yeah, your girl weak or something. That's why you cheating.
Yeah, that's disrespectful to a woman.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, you make yourself look like you chose a weak girl, so you
Or
going
she
out
wasn't
here cheating.
enough,
Yeah, or she wasn't enough, so you
Yeah.
going out here cheating.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing too. A lot of these men, like, that's, I'm glad you brought that point up too, and that's a lot of reason why men don't even know the negative effects that cheating has on a woman. Just mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. That's why you got a lot of these women not knowing their worth or not knowing their value, or just it's other reasons for it too. But that's one of the main factors in it, is because some women, like how we said, it can be a feminine tendency to seek validation in other people. So, like, if with men doing it, we say that that's the wrong thing. But when women, they're looking for our validation and their value a lot of times. So if we're showing them you ain't worth loyalty, you ain't worth respect, you ain't worth quality time, you wonder why all of these women gonna start moving around when they not choosing wrong, bad men, low quality men, because you showed them that they weren't worth enough. So that's another one of them things that men, we just got to be more responsible in how we treating these women, because that can really help her really be able to have more confidence in her worth.
And I don't want y'all to think we're just saying only men cheat. No, we're not saying that at all. But we're just taking accountability from our point of view.
Yeah, as men.
Men, like, I ain't
because that's rare that happens.
Yeah, I'm just taking accountability for us. Like, yes, women do cheat. Yes, men ain't always the problem.
They know what they do.
Yeah, they know what they doing, but we need to stop pointing fingers and see what we doing first, and look at us first before we go pointing the finger. And you got cheated. Maybe you chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't do that time because you don't have no discipline.
Right.
Yeah. So we're not saying just all men, but we gotta take accountability and be the first ones.
Yeah, man, and I feel like that's super important, man. Having that self awareness, and self accountability too, and also too, just to bring it home and kind of add to it, is like you got to surround yourself with. You got to surround yourself with people who are, like minded, but also surround yourself with healthy environments. I just make the joke earlier. I'm literally in a room with men who are all in relationships. You don't want to, but if you're a man who desires a relationship, but you hang around people who be single and cheating and heavily promiscuous, you ain't gonna never get there, because your environment is tainting your whole vision and your whole spirit and all of that too. So that's the reason why I surround myself with good men who are in relationships, and I'm always asking. Whether it's on a podcast, outside of, because I'm trying to get knowledge and trying to prepare myself to be in that same situation. So,
and also too, that's lame, being that one guy who does cheat, trying to get your faithful guy to cheat too.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Lame. Yeah,
that's horrible.
Lame.
They do that.
Yeah,
they
be
definitely
like, man,
do
come
that.
on, man.
It's
And
like,
that'd be
oh,
weird. I don't be understanding that.
they-
There'd be a lot of investment into what another dude is doing, like your dude is doing, and he not cheating, he lame.
It's so
he
crazy
being
too,
loyal and being a good man, he lame.
It's crazy too, because they so hurt. They want you to be hurt too, like, because
Yeah,
they may have
bro.
got cheated on or something like that, bro. You think your girl yours? You think she always?
I was about to say, you got those people, bro. Bro,
You
what?
think she's not doing this? You think she's not
What you
doing
think
that?
your girl doing when you not around?
Bro, you feel let her go along? Like,
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Having security as a man is super important before you get into these relationships too, because a lot of these men, they be like, and I'm pretty sure we've all seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got to check her every move and always where you at, who you dealing with. A lot of them things is them character flaws that you didn't work on in your singleness. So now
in some spaces,
yeah,
in some spaces, because that can also be created in the space where you've been betrayed on a loyalty level.
So that also
that is a security thing, because it creates insecurities.
Yeah, so that healing needs to kick in if that was your circumstance, but yeah, that's the worst thing you can do. You got to be secure in yourself, But yeah, also to that other point on what I was saying before, that's the biggest thing I really want men to understand is that, man, be 100% confident in the woman that you chose, because it's going, like you said, that when that love fade, you know what I mean? It's like we done heard Michelle Obama say she didn't like Obama for 10 years, but she still made the decision to continue to keep going, because the real marriage and real long-term relationships, you gotta want to, you gotta want to keep working with that person.
It's in the choice.
Yes.
Like what the emotions are fickle.
Yeah.
Like the real love, the real commitment, the real marriage, whatever you want to call it, it's in the actual choice.
Yeah.
And you could love somebody emotionally and choose to be with them, not choose to be with them. And that's what it is. She said she didn't like that man for 10 years. She made the choice to abide by her commitment and do the work that it took to get them where they at now.
Right.
So if there was a couple of things you summon to like a small list that people should take from this episode, what would it be? Or not people, well, young men.
Regarding relationships?
Regarding
Or
everything
just
we
advice,
talked about.
or just generally, or what you're saying as far as relationships, or as what?
Or anything we talked about within like this whole episode, what should people take or young men take from it?
Or you just do that, then say, what's your number one thing that you know, if you're trying to give advice to young men, what's one of them? Like, just
my number one thing is being genuine. I feel like that solves every problem. You just cover what genuine means. Genuine is to be real. To be honest, that's a respectful thing. Every man should be honest and respectable. When it comes to the relationship space, if you being genuine in what you're trying to do, there's no reason you should have to sacrifice or your morals go by the wayside because of a decision you're making. Whether that's being a person that's gonna bam everybody. If you real and you acknowledge that's what you are, and that's what you're gonna do, you being you, and you being genuine. You're not lying to this girl, telling her she the only one, so that you can get the box. When it comes to any other space within your relationship, if you want, like we talked about, the poly, monogamous, open, closed, whatever. If you being real from the start at all times, and what the intentions are, and what you can and cannot do, what you're disciplined enough to do, or what you just simply don't want to do, because everything don't come down to discipline. A lot of it comes down to, I want this many partners, or I don't want to be with just one person. Be real, be genuine. Who are you gonna cross like that? Who are you gonna cross or betray or wrong being real? That's all I would want to say.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? This was a real powerful episode. You know what I'm saying? I think this was it was definitely long overdue, man. You know.
Facts.
Also too, in case we didn't say it before, man, for the people out there who been, you know, just rocking with us and stuff like that, you know, our boy Dejan is the one who blessed us with the theme song for the Modern Kings podcast. So, you know what I'm saying? Gotta give it up for him one more time.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you want
The return on the way.
Ooh.
The return is on the way.
Yeah, y'all more music coming soon, man. Me and bro gonna get in the
IG. Might have to plug the IG, man.
But yeah, man, like I said, you know, as we close it out, man, I appreciate you for pulling up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate y'all for having me,
it's
man.
definitely all love, man. What was your experience like being here on the Modern Kings podcast, man?
Hey, man, my experience is great, man. When you're a modern king, you can go around another modern king, you know, it get different.
Yes, sir. What about you, Keon? How you felt about this episode, man?
I felt good. You know, it was a little part in the middle when we was talking about the beef that, you know, I ain't like.
What about you, Keon? What would you say is your biggest takeaway you want people to focus on from this specific episode?
Again, be you. Like, stop letting other people that's lower in life right now influence you to do something outside your character. Like, that's lame. Like, I don't care what you do, wherever you say your character is, be a man of that. Be that. Don't let other people influence you outside of that. That's lame.
And I'll say for me, my final thing I would say, man, is just definitely always for people out there who might not see the value in relationships or marriage, definitely don't allow yourself to be affected by outside perspectives. Like, you know, do your own research and, you know, have your own faith in that. You know, if that's what you believe, it's a lot of value in that, and that's what we're here to show people, that there is value in relationships and being loyal and being a good man and treating women right and treating women with respect. You know, it's a greater reward from that not only physically but internally. You know what I'm saying? God look at all of them different things. So if you a man out there, man, just always make sure that you treating women with respect. You know, always value that now. You know, even if you just got friends. You know, even if you're not in a relationship, because them core values gonna go a long way. Especially if you end up having a daughter one day. You know, she gonna want to see them core values in you as a man. So yeah, just keep focusing on that, man. And you know, as we go to the center cam, man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. This has been a also too, I gotta say this is our final episode in this space. You know what I'm saying? So this is also kind of like the end of an era, but the beginning of a new generation. You know, because we upgrading to a new space. You know what I'm saying? We finna have some different changes and stuff like that, man. So shout out to all the day ones who've been here. You know, from episode 1 was filmed in this studio. So we gonna have a new home by the time y'all see us again, man. So we couldn't close it out with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It only made sense. So
and then if y'all stayed all the way to the end, comment your favorite part or comment your favorite quote.
Yeah, yup, and do the mental health check-in. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want more engagement, man. We don't want y'all to just be watching. Don't be here just watching, man. Mm-hmm. Tap in and tune in. So, yeah, man, that's what I got, man. And you know, it's just like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's give it up, man. Running out of love. Running out of love. Running out of love to give. Yeah. They know I got it, so they got it too. They say if you don't feed your dogs, then they'll start biting you. I seen them sneak dissing, but I ignored it and just played it.